The Empire. The Empire struck back over the weekend. How about the Team USA hockey team? We have another feel-good story in sports. In a sports calendar year in the last 8 months, 6 months, it's been nothing but feel-good stories in sports. And yesterday, I believe it was, yes, Sunday, I believe it was Sunday morning. It was Sunday morning. Team USA, watched the entire thing. Team USA versus Canada, and the Empire has struck back. This is a sports rebellion going on against all the woke, all the anti-American sentiment. Jack Hughes, Connor Halabucky, the whole thing is a reaction. The reason why that felt so monumental, because this was not the A Miracle on Ice 2.0. Yes, it went overtime. Yes, Jack Hughes ended it with a great defensive play and a great finish at the other end. Yes, he was heroic. The guy gets a tooth and a half or 2 teeth knocked out, or at least 1 tooth knocked out early in the third period, high stick. This is like an old school Ronnie Lott moment. America wins gold in Olympic hockey for the first time since 1980, the Miracle on Ice. And the reason why it feels so big is because it was so patriotic at a time when athletes are being pushed to be anti-American. We've been dealing with this at least since 2016 when Colin Kaepernick started taking a knee. It heightened and went to its peak in 2020, and we've been living in the aftermath of every athlete has to pretend like America is the worst place in the world and Donald Trump is the worst person in the world. And oh my God, I'm carrying such a burden competing in athletics when Donald Trump is so mean. He writes mean tweets and he's racist. And there's all these things going on in America. And that's what they were trying to define this Olympic season with. These Winter Olympics. The reporters running over to, what was this, Milan? Asking the players, how can you compete when Donald Trump is posting mean tweets and when ICE is trying to kick Somalians out of Minnesota? Oh, how can you compete? Aren't you just weighted down, worried about Somalians in Minnesota? The Empire strikes back with one of the most patriotic moments. It is the most patriotic moment in sports we've had since, because again, we'll have, 9/11. We got super patriotic after 9/11 in sports, but that may be it. George Bush throwing the first pitch after 9/11. But this may be the most patriotic moment in sports since then. 9/11, is that 2001? Is that 20 years? 24, 25 years? Hats off to Team USA, but the reason, and I'm telling you, I watched yesterday, and it wasn't until the end, until it went overtime, until Jack Hughes kept skating, kept playing after getting his teeth knocked out. And that's a great moment there just in male masculinity, American male masculinity. We feminize and soften sports to the point I'm surprised they didn't rush Jack Hughes to the hospital. But because it's hockey, you can still be a man. And this was like Ronnie Lott cutting off the tip of his finger to continue playing in a playoff game. Jack Hughes just continues on and then becomes the hero in overtime, and we have this great. Do we have the picture like him with the flag and this? Yeah, this is going to be one of the most memorable moments, one of the most memorable pictures in sports. This is like a version of Muhammad Ali standing over Sonny Liston. This is it's a different kind of John Carlos and Tommy Smith, fists raised, I believe, in 1968 at the Mexico Olympics. Now we have this on the other side. Jack Hughes, teeth knocked out, bloodied mouth, fist in the air, flag draped around him. And I want you to think about what has been going on in sports the past 6 to 8 months. Shohei Ohtani reveals himself as the Babe Ruth of our era, leads the Dodgers to a World Series title, pitches 10 strikeouts in a game. In the same game, he had 3 home runs in the NLCS. The Dodgers go on to win the World Series. The biggest, and we'll have this discussion here in a minute with Steve Kim and Butter. This Indiana winning the national championship, going, what did they go, 16-0? Will we remember Indiana and that 16-0 season more than we remember Miracle on Ice 2.0, which isn't really Miracle on Ice, it's the Empire striking back. But and then you have the feel-good story of the Seattle Seahawks, who centered their faith journey and won the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold at quarterback. The Empire is striking back. I want to juxtapose. Here's how they wanted you to think of this Olympics. I want to play this little compilation of athletes responding to these stupid questions. Oh, how can you compete? Donald Trump's in the White House. Racism is everywhere. Play that compilation.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't.
How do you feel about Trump's approach towards the LGBT community, and also how does it affect you personally?
Yeah, it's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community.
I think it is really important also to, notice like the faults in our own government. Things are a little rough.
I'm really hoping to show up and represent my own values of inclusivity, values of diversity and kindness and sharing.
A bunch of woke white athletes, I'm including that Asian woman, a bunch of idiots pretending like, other than at that podium, when asked the question, if they're sitting around thinking about Donald Trump and all that's going on in America, and I'm about diversity and inclusion. They wanted to woke up this Winter Olympics, and the Empire struck back. This is amazing. Jack Hughes, Connor Halabucky, these guys are going down, the Kachuk brothers, they're going down in history. They're going down, they'll be more remembered than, Maria Taylor and the black woman. Did y'all see the Maria Taylor tweet? The 2 black women. That's the tweet. This racial idolatry. This hockey team, Team USA, and the patriotic national anthem and the whole feel-good moment going on in sports, that's what we'll remember, not this garbage that Jemele Hill is promoting. I want to read to you all an excerpt from her piece in The Atlantic. Our Olympians are being put in an impossible position. American athletes have been asked to account for Trump, then attacked for doing so. Oh, the horror. I want to read you from this article. That's the headline. The International Olympic Committee pushes the myth that the Olympics are meant to be a safe, apolitical space. Tell that to the American athletes at this year's Winter Olympics who are being asked tough questions about the political and social turmoil in their home country. What's tough about, Mrs. Athlete, tell us how bad Donald Trump is? Is that really a tough question? Talk negatively about Donald Trump. I don't think these guys were getting hit with tough questions. I think there was an agenda trying to be executed, and Team USA Hockey just blew it up. They just defined what these Winter Olympics were about from the American point of view. We knocked off the best hockey team in the world, two of the best hockey players in the world on that Canadian team. We were clearly outmanned, outskilled, the whole 9 yards, and Collar Hellebucky sits in there and pitches basically a shutout, one of the greatest performers. What they have, like 42 shots on goal? And he shut down all but one, and they had good shots. They dominated that game, and we still won. And Jack Hughes gets beat with a stick in the mouth and comes back and beats Canada with the game-winning goal. And then drapes a flag around his neck and tells everybody how proud he is to be an American.